Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to do a complete in-depth tutorial because I've seen a lot of them and I noticed they missed so much. So here we go. Now first, for people who are brand new to this game, sometimes this is all confusing. You don't really know what to do or what to do with it. Let me break this down. This is your Warframe. Your Warframe can be anything from, like I have Frost, all the way to Excalibur. It can be any one of these, and these Warframes all have certain abilities. The abilities will be shown up here. But let's say you go into battle, and you have no Warframe, or you have no mods on. Your Warframe will not have any moves, and all moves for the Warframe will have the Warframe's name here, which the one I'm using now is Frost, and the abilities. The abilities all have special abilities, making all Warframe abilities unique. Next, we get to the weapons. The weapons are all have certain aspects that make them completely different. Say I'm using a Dara. It's a laser weapon. It has travel time, which I do not recommend for new players. It gets difficult to use sometimes. It has travel time, and it has a laser aspect. Well, what a laser aspect does is it goes through armor. But this one does not have armor pierce, so it does not. So what you can do is you can always go to Wiki and look up the weapon stats. Anything you need to know about a weapon can be found on the Wikipedia page. Next we get to the secondaries. And now, secondaries all run off the secondary pistol mods. For some reason, I don't know why they did this, but the shotgun mods do not work on the Bronco Prime and the Bronco and stuff. Which I think they should, but they don't. So if you want to use your shotgun mods, get over it. And then, here we get to the melee weapons. Now, there's two types of melee weapons. There's charge attack melee weapons, which do high damage when you do a charge attack. Like this one, and this one. They're all charge weapons. And then you have striking weapons, which are normally quick, and have a special armor ignore sometimes. Or a type of elemental damage built right in. Now, the elemental damage is what I noticed for melee weapons is it normally does 100%. So, say you did a strike, this one does complete armor ignore. So it will always do the same amount of damage. But say you get to the Orthos, you hit him with a charge attack, it does in excess of 500 damage, which is quite a lot for people who don't know. And next, we get to the mods. Now, the mod system is, if you look at all the mods, you're like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. Don't be. They're really simple once you figure them out. There are 8 types of mods. Each mod has its own specialty. Warframe mods go on the Warframe. Rifle mods work on the rifle. Pistol mods work on the pistol. So on and so forth. There are Sentinel mods, and some of you don't know what a Sentinel is. I'll get to that later. There are Blade mods. The Blade mods are useful from time to time, but all mods have their own properties. This one increases damage, while this one increases charge attack, or electrical attack and electrical damage. These ones increase things for your whole team, but I'll get to the specialty of this category later. Sometimes you're going to find fusion cores. Now, I don't have any right now because I used them all earlier. Fusion cores all are special because what they can do is they can fuse with any mod and be the equivalent of fusing the same mod with each other. And fusing is what you do when you take a mod and say you have a repeat, like I have 50 reach. So what I would do is I click fuse, and you fuse a mod together. Now what this does is it increases the power of the mod. But be warned, sometimes it gets difficult. I swear, I am not making this up. You can dump lots and lots of your credits in the mod. You can, but the reason is you dump so much money is because they get harder and harder to fuse. They double the amount of mods you need each and every time. So this mod, I used 4 cards to get it to level 2. Well, I only used 1 card to get it up to level 1. That's what makes it harder. And there are some mods that have 10 or 11 levels, like Redirection. No. I don't want to do that. Redirection is a good mod, and it's really common. It drops everywhere. But the reason it's such a pain in the ass is you can dump 30 to 40 grand into just upgrading your mod. But don't worry about money. It's not an issue. You can go to the Void, which drops off these keys drop off mod or off of defense missions, so do not worry, they're easy to acquire. They don't have a really rare drop like some of the Warframes. Now you may be looking at the mod and you see these polarities at the very top right corner. Each of these polarities has a specialty tool, and every single thing can use these. Now say you had a weapon that didn't have a polarity, well, I'll get to why that's not important later. Right now, these polarities, see how these are gray, and I can take my redirection, I move it here. Now say I wanted to move my ice wave, it wouldn't let me, because I have, the polarity here does not match here, and I only have 1 slot. So let me take off one of my mods that has 8 slots. Okay, I'll remove this one for now. And I move this over here. What if I wanted to move redirection right here? Well, look at this. When it's normally only costs 12. But when I move it to here, it costs 15. Now, it goes up by the amount of the mod you have used. So, it gets really hefty if you don't have the right slots. So on a Warframe, I don't recommend using a Forma, but you can. Sometimes you might need to, but I haven't come across an occasion where I actually needed to ever since the new auras came out. Now, back to the auras. I told you that these are special mods, and they are. These mods are all auras, and you may be asking, well, what is an aura? An aura is a mod that works on your entire team. And the aura, what it does is it increases some sort of stat. This one increases ammo pickup, this one increases melee damage, so on and so forth. Now, these mods are the word is overpowered, because, hey, they may not be useful in some cases, but the thing is look what it would do to your Warframe. Now you want to put one on your Warframe, right? Well, let's do that. How about that? I'm going to have to remove a mod again. I'm sorry. And now say I wanted to remove physique. Look at this bar right here. That bar will decrease by 12. Because these mods have the ability to increase the power of your mod. And if it matches a polarity, that potential doubles. And now that I added, now it was 6 at first, now it is 12. Now I have 15 slots. Now I can put my vitality mod back on. Now, I told you that some weapons do not have any polarities. And I'm going to show you why that does not matter. You can find these things called formas, and you can find them off of alerts, and I got 12 of them in the void, so I don't really need them that much. But you would see, you click polarize, and you can add any sort of slot. Now, I warn you now, if you want to polarize a Warframe and you accidentally remove this slot, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to polarize it again and put it back on. So say I wanted to polarize it, I polarize it, which I don't really want to do with this weapon. I'll do it with another weapon. I'll show you how that works. Then I can add anything from a dash to a Z to a stun mod. Now I don't recommend putting, and all of those have special properties. These are mostly for health, stamina. These mods right here are mostly for health and shields, and then they also are for your knockdown and your stuns. That's the only mods that use those. And so they're very helpful on your Warframes, but they're not helpful on your weapons. These are for your damage mods, such as Serration and Speed Trigger. And I recommend having 2 of these on each weapon will make it so you don't need to. It can pretty much double your mods. And then dash mods are mostly for elemental damage and special types of damage. And energy as well. So energy mods are Warframe mods, as you can tell. All Warframes use energy. But energy mods use these kinds of mods for the reason, I don't know why, but they do. And they're special. So, yeah. These, I'm going to put one of these on here later, a V, because I want that on my weapon. Now I'm going to get to types of weapons. Now, I already briefly covered this, but I did not completely cover it. This counts as a rifle, but it's a grenade launcher. This is a rifle, bow, shotgun, and this is a sniper rifle. Now, some of the mods can be confusing, but you probably won't run into them till later. Like charge chamber will only work in the Snipertron and this piece of crap. And it says sniper, and a bow is considered a sniper, right? Well, it won't work on a bow because the bow does not have a clip. So shotgun mods, the shotguns have the ability. Now, it does say it does 72 damage, and it might. But that's if you're really, really close to the enemy, and it does a good amount of damage. But it has a spread. Shotguns do have a spread, like in a lot of games. Now, I wish they made a slug shotgun, because then I would use shotguns, but I haven't picked this thing up since I've been on my Saren, and it's been a while. So I have rifles and all that fun stuff. Now, there are certain weapons you cannot find in the market, and sometimes you can be frustrated, but do not worry. You can find the blueprints for any weapon in the game, except for guild weapons, which I'll tell you about later. You can find any weapon in this entire game through blueprints, except for new ones that have just recently come out. And don't worry about that, because they'll get blueprints eventually. Now, say you go to the market, right? And you're like, well, I can't get any of these without having to buy stuff. Trust me, because that's not an issue. Look, when you scroll down, you find these. And these are blueprints, and you can click on the blueprint, and it will open up, and then you will get to the weapons. And I will show you what to do with the blueprints once you buy them, because sometimes, blueprints, you can lose them. I've lost a couple that really made me cry, because I lost my Frost system when I was trying to build Frost. You can buy these, and luckily these are fairly easy to build. I mean, they may cost a lot of money, but they do not cost shit in resources. Next we get to gear. Now, this gear, you can buy it. Yeah. Of course, you can buy it with credits. And you may be thinking, 1,000, holy cow, it's not a lot of money, trust me. You can get piles and piles of cash in the void. But to put on gear is you click inventory. Hold on, I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I know what I'm doing. Hold on, I gotta find one. And then you click one of these. See how this is a pistol ammo box, sniper ammo box. You click it, select it, and it should show up. There we go. There we go. So yeah, you click this and you equip it. You click a slot here, you click this, you equip it. And don't worry about these. These came from an event. I haven't used them. I haven't needed to. Because they just left them in the game. I don't know why. So that is everything you need to know about the arsenal. I'm sorry about how boring this is, but some people are looking for a tutorial, and I understand that. I could not find a tutorial when I started to play this game, so I had to figure it out by hand. Then I told you what you would do is you would buy a blueprint. I told you I would show you how to use a blueprint. So you click back, you click Foundry. I don't know why I did that. In your Foundry, you can find all the things you ever acquired a blueprint for. And in my case, I need to sell some of my blueprints because I do not need them. You can find weapon blueprints and blueprints, and you may be thinking, well, okay, what if I can't build it? Don't worry. You can find these on any planet. When I say any planet, not all planets can have the same items, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. Now, you go to your weapons, and some of these are like this. Well, you'll be like, well, I don't know where to find these. None of the weapons drop these, or none of the planets drop these. These are special components to weapons that you can find in the Void. The Void is a very nice place to get weapons, but at the same time, you have to have some amount of skill, and it's not really difficult unless you don't know what you're doing. But the only one that's actually difficult is the Tower 3 defense. Holy shit, dude! I lost a couple of revives in those. And you go, and these are all, like I showed you in the mods, these all are special properties. These are Warframe parts, or these are just Warframes. These are ready to build parts. These are in progress, and I have nothing building right now. These are handguns, which I'm trying to build this. This is becoming a pain in the ass. You have your rifles, you have your melee weapons, so on and so forth. Now, yeah, so you can build the parts to these, and all that. And, yeah, so, okay. So now, you may be asking another question. Okay, well, I'm going to the market. I'm going to buy a Warframe. Okay, so go ahead and buy that Warframe. Let's do that now. You go back to your Foundry, you look at Warframes, and you'll be like, holy shit, I do not have any of these. Well, every Warframe piece drops a blueprint, and the blueprints are sometimes a pain in the ass. Actually, no, sometimes it's an understatement. Like every time I wanted to build a Warframe, these motherfuckers never dropped. Now, they would drop a blueprint, and it's a little purple orb. Make your eyes split apart when you're looking for those, because sometimes they'll fly away when you blow up the boss. You want to keep an open eye. Well, sometimes they're a pain in the ass. I know that. And you go to miscellaneous, and you can find all the blueprints. Now, I bought a Rhino one because I have all 3 Rhino pieces. Now, I have to go get some neural sensors, and I have to get lots and lots of these. Now, that will allow me the time to build these. Okay, so I would build them. I'd be done. All a Warframe blueprint allows you to do, the only thing it allows you to do, is put the parts together. And it's a bitch because it takes 3 damn days, and you're waiting. It's like a little kid on Christmas morning for me, anyway. And yeah, and now, say you wanted to look at what you have, you go through these, and you're like, wait a minute, I need more components. And I told you I would show you how to look for specific components. You close out your Foundry, close out that. You hover over a planet. Now, every planet has its own designated items. For example, I go to Earth. It has ferrite, rubedo, neurodes, and dentonite, and puto. I go to Venus as alloy plate. Now, some weapons require ones you can't. Say you needed Morphix. Okay. Say you needed Morphix, which are these. And they are a rare drop. Then I recommend farming a boss, because they're not going to drop. They hardly ever drop off of the ground. I got maybe one or two of them that way when I was actually looking for them. The thing is you can't be looking for them. But if you don't look for them, you'll find them. Trust me. But when you are looking for them, they'll never drop. So I got 18 due to this event because I've been doing a lot of I've been finding lots of Morphix. But that's because the events increase more. We're all done with all of these, and you go to contacts and you add us as Lotus Eaters because we're awesome. Add Lotus Eaters. You'll find some of our clan members, whatever. And you go to contacts. Say you wanted to friend somebody, you can either type in their name or you can remember their name. Now this is a much easier way of going about to find a cool player. Say you met like a badass cool player. Well, they're like, well, I want to friend this guy. I want to play with him again. Click recent contacts, and you can find all kinds of people you have just recently met. Most likely, he's going to be in the top because you had just recently played with him. And that's all of these. And these are alerts. Now you get alerts by completely finishing every single mission on a specified... You don't have to complete every mission, but if you say you completed Ishtar, okay? We finished Ishtar. We're done. It's white. It's not blue anymore. A little exclamation mark will appear either on top of it. I think it appears on it now. It would appear right over Ishtar. Now you go to that alert, and it will you'll enter it. But maybe you want to know what the alert drops. This one, here's an alert. It's right here on Helme. Now, this is a defense alert, and these are generally more difficult. And you hover over this, and you go over, and it's an easy level. And you go to Gaia, and look at that. Sometimes they have question marks, but this is just by example. This is a special item. Now, sometimes Morphix and all kinds of cool things. Ferrite was there a couple days ago, and I missed out on that. And sometimes even Warframe pieces. Say you wanted a Warframe helmet, they only drop in alerts, or you have to buy them. I'm sorry to say this. I wish it was different too, but you know what? Hey, put it in time, you'll find your parts. So yeah, that is my in-depth tutorial. And if you want, I can do a different tutorial. Just leave a comment and a like below, and maybe you'll need to come back to it. So favorite my video, and please hit that subscribe button. I'm Bad Karma, and I'll talk to you guys later.